We're getting set up for a young man named George Dennehy. Would you guys welcome George as he gets set up? George, buddy, we're so glad you're here. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for coming all the way from Richmond, Virginia. The guy barely made it out of a snowstorm and flew in on a red eye, right? To get this? Yeah, and going, yeah. I just wanted to give it up one more time for George Dennehy. Thank you for being here, buddy. God bless you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Let me just start off by saying how excited and honored I am to be a part of this event and to share with you. And I definitely feel lucky. Like you just heard, there was tons of snow. There is tons of snow still in Virginia, and I almost didn't make it. But I'm so glad I did, and I'm just glad to be here. This past summer, I was at the beach, and I was swimming in the water and just enjoying myself, and this little girl comes up to me, and she asks me, "What's wrong with you?" You know, kids have no filter. Adults have no filter. But kids as well also have no filter. And she just flat out said, like, "What happened to you? What's wrong with you?" And I looked at her, and obviously I knew what she was talking about because she just saw me swimming. And I looked at her and I said, "Well, you know, when I was your age, I didn't eat my vegetables." Which was hilarious to tell her because her face after I told her that was extremely, extremely confused. But I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my story and where I came from and how God has worked in my heart and in my life. The truth is, I was born without arms, and I was born in Romania. Am I the only Romanian in here, or is there anyone else? Okay, somebody standing up. Yes, cool. Blood brothers. And I was born in a small and poor Romanian village, and almost everybody in Romania believed that when a person was born disabled, quote, quote, that I try to do with my toes, but it's not what I try. Almost everybody there believed that when a person is born disabled, that they're cursed, that they are born with a curse. My family was not in that group. They didn't believe that, but they knew everyone else did, so they had to make the choice that with also not being able to take care of me, to put me in an orphanage in hopes that I would be adopted one day, which I was. When I was 1.5 years old, I was adopted by an American family here in the States, and they came over and adopted me, and I was 1.5, and I weighed 9 pounds from lack of care and lack of attention, and I was sick, and I was on the verge of dying, but they saved me, and God had a different plan for my life, and I was adopted. There came a time in my life where, being born without arms, being different, was really, really hard on me. It became really, really hard on me. I'd love to come up here and tell you that my life has always been perfect and I've always been a joker and friendly and happy, but that's just not the case. I want to come here and I want to be honest with you, and I want to be truthful about what I've been through, because I think that's what we're called to do. I think we're called to tell each other's stories and testimonies so we can all grow and be stronger through that. When I was in middle school, I started believing that me not having arms was a curse. Being in a public middle school and going through a lot of bullying and being picked on by other kids, there's so many stories I could tell you about this, but I'll just keep it general and just say that I had it rough in school. My life in school as a student was just rough. And it brought me to believe that, I am cursed. I believe that I was cursed. And that brought me to question a lot of things that I grew up learning about and hearing. It brought me to question, why would a loving God create somebody different? Why would a loving God create somebody disabled, if you want to call it that? I couldn't understand why that would happen. And I started asking God, why me? Why did you create me like this? Why did you choose me to go through this pain? Because this is just too much for me. And that in turn led me to be just a very, very depressed person and very angry and being very angry at God. I don't know how many of you out there have ever gone through really, really hard things in your life that brought you to be just absolutely angry at God. Not even sad, but just looking up at him in the sky and just saying, like, how could you do this to me? Like, how could you make this happen in my life? This is your fault. Why is this happening? Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? And I went through this for really a couple years, and the more and more I thought this, and the more and more this was in my head, the more and more depressed and mad I got at God, and the more and more I was ready to take my own life because the pain I was feeling was too much for me. It was too much for me by myself. But the good news is, and what I want to stress and talk to you about fully is God and God's redemption for us and how God did a miracle in my heart and in my life. You know, God led me to a passage in the Bible, and the passage is John chapter 9. And in John chapter 9, the disciples ask Jesus about a blind man. They see a blind man on the road, and they ask him, why is this man blind? Whose fault is it? You know, what went wrong? And a lot of people, when they see me and when they see people who are different, a lot of people think like something must have happened, something must have went wrong. There's no way this could have happened on purpose. I think that's just human nature, and that's just what we think sometimes, you know? And Jesus' answer is what completely changed my heart and why I'm here and why I feel so honored to be here. Jesus says it was nobody's fault, it was nobody's sin that this man was born blind. There's no mistake. There was no accident here. The truth is that God made this man blind so that the works of God could be seen through him. You understand? And when I saw that, my entire view, my entire heart, and just outlook on life completely changed. I finally understood that God created me like this on purpose, for a reason, so that the works of him can be seen through me. I want you to hear something that I'm about to tell you, and I want you to hear it really, really good, so listen up. Listen up. The works of God will be seen through each and every one of you. It doesn't matter if you have a disability, if you don't have a disability, but I want to tell you something right now. We all have disabilities. All right? Some of us more than others. And I'm talking about you guys with arms. You know, the truth is, we all have different things in our lives that we wish we could change, that we wish were different and better about us, our weaknesses. But like we were singing and like we were hearing, God is strongest in our weakness. And I strongly believe that God uses our weaknesses to further his kingdom, to work. So if you're in here and you've been struggling a little bit with maybe self-worth or self-doubt, or maybe you're like me and you feel like that you can't do anything, there's nothing for you in this world, and that you can't make a difference, that is a lie. Because the truth is, you can make a difference. Because the hard and honest truth, well, it's not hard truth, it's just honest, that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. That's in the Bible. It's right there, and the Bible is truth. So whenever you feel doubtful about yourself, and whenever you feel like that you're too weak, or maybe you can't do what you want to do or reach or achieve the dreams that you want to reach and achieve, remember what Jesus did on the cross. And remember that he did that for you so that you could be adopted by God, and so that God could give you a purpose, and God could show you his plan for your life. Remember that each and every one of you in here has a plan and has a purpose, and that God created you exactly the way you are for a reason and for a purpose. So never doubt that. Always remember that God is in control. He's leading you to where you need to go, and all we need to do is just say, God, show me. Show me what you want me to do in this life, and I will do it. Because God has something for each and every one of us to do. All right? I'm going to play a song. I'm going to play a song real quick that I wrote, and this song is called Not Abandoned. And this song is about adoption. And not only a physical adoption, but also a spiritual adoption. Because if you're in here right now and if you're a believer, believe it or not, you were adopted. All right? You're adopted. And if you've never thought about yourself like that, just really think about it and ponder on that, because it's so humbling and so beautiful to see that God looked out in the whole world and saw you and said, I'm going to adopt you and I'm going to bring you into my family. So this song is called Not Abandoned. Every day, every hour, wondering if you'll make it out. You've been here for as long as you can remember, trapped inside this hollow shell. You're not abandoned. You're not alone. There is a family that wants to make you their own. You're gonna find out. On this broken road, there is a pathway that's gonna lead you home, lead you home. You were left in a wasteland with a voice yet to be heard. 10 years later, you're still fighting for a chance just to be loved. You're not abandoned. Oh, you're not alone. There is a family that wants to make you their own. You're gonna find out. On this broken road, there is a pathway that's gonna lead you home. You're not abandoned. Oh, you're not alone. There is a Savior. He wants to make you his own. You're gonna find out. On this broken road, there is a pathway that's gonna lead you home, lead you home. Yeah, I'll lead you home. You're not abandoned. You're not alone. There is a Savior who wants to make you his own. You're gonna find out. On this broken road, there is a pathway that's gonna lead you home. You're not abandoned. You're not abandoned. Ooh, yeah. You're not abandoned. Yeah. You're not abandoned. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you so much for being with us. George is going to be in the lobby, and he'd love to meet you right out those doors after this session. And also, you can check him out on YouTube or georgedennehy.com. Thank you so much, George, man. What a blessing. Let's go this way.